Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Midwest Dungeon Delvers. Tonight, it is the continuation of the Six Sword Saga. Our episode tonight is called Hearth and Harvest. Let's see how far the party can get. Some crazy stuff happened at the end of the last episode, so we'll see what happens now. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the most important thing about these characters and the storyline, it's all
technology have become permanently entrapped within the simulation.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, currently, tonight, we knew we weren't going to have Owen. Jen is currently MIA. He may hop in at some point in the night. We'll see. We'll find out. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, let's go ahead with what happened with the last episode of the Six Sword Saga. The party had fought off a creature known as a Reaver, a terrifying skeletoid figure with kind of a bony blade arm type thing. They fought it off. However, Aldrich fell in battle, sustaining a curse mark from the individual. The party sought the help of Brother Varnell, who may have known a way to cure a curse such as that. The party discussed with him, finding out that there was something called a ritual of cleansing that they could do. However, they would need a spellcaster of 5th level or higher, at least being able to cast such magics. The party gathered all the magic users in the caravan, questioned, and then ended up with Morthos being one of the only willing spellcasters to partake in the ritual and help cleanse Aldrich of this rift mark that would slowly begin sapping his strength and eroding his essence. The party began this ritual, yet something seemed off. Aldrich, having a mental link with Morthos, began to see these terrifying visions of potential future. Who knows? Then the party came all around, seeing this like black flame erupt from the wound on Aldrich's back. Brother Varnell kind of like longingly looking towards it, and that is where we left off. The first thing that happens is Morthos turns on a dime and says, "I knew I shouldn't have trusted one of your kind. How dare! Your sex should have died along with all the secrets of Nexvar," and then starts like storming off.
Brother Varnell, what was all that about?
I did not think it possible that such a majestic flame would come. I dare not. Yet I long to feel its warmth. And he like begins moving his hands toward the like scarred back of Aldrich.
Can anyone tell me what's going on? Am I better?
Let me examine you real quick. I would like to perform a medicine check on him to make sure he's all right.
Yeah, go for it. Medicine check.
Oh! 19 on the die, plus medicine is 322.
Beautiful. Beautiful indeed. Yes, he is cleansed of his rift mark. He is no longer taking necrotic damage. He should be cured of all the ailments of said rift mark. The only reminder of the encounter is this kind of eerie scar along his back.
I poked the scar aggressively, because this hurt, Aldrich.
No more than anyone poking someone in the back would, Aldrich.
Justicar, please stop that.
I have to make sure you're healed properly.
It
Or
doesn't
do
hurt
you have the
anymore.
ability to look at your own back?
Company I keep these days. Well,
Brought him a little bit. It looks good, but you know, odd things happened. So you know, just making sure that you're not needing to be kept extra warm tonight.
could you just untie me?
I could.
Justicar, I've just been through a cleansing ritual. You should definitely untie me now.
Yeah, but I remember there was a lot of weird things going on with people talking inside people's heads and stuff.
Justicar,
I start untying him.
thank you.
Owen wanders off to inspect the crystal with Jark to see kind of like what happened, why the Rift Reaver was able to like break in. Jin appears to follow Brother Varnell off to the side somewhere.
All right. Aldridge looks like he's probably needing to take some rest.
Morthos is kind of like leaned up against one of the wagons, just kind of like huffing.
I will go see how Morthos is holding up.
I feel so used.
I put my hand on his shoulder. I apologize. I didn't quite understand what he needed the extra oomph for in the cleansing ritual, but would you explain how you feel used?
The symbol of his order, the hollow flame. That's what we bore witness to just then.
And is this bad? I would like to do a religion check before, like, as I say that.
Yeah, make a religion check. Morthos continues.
18 on the die? Or 18 altogether, I mean?
It's not that it is in of itself bad. It serves a purpose, but for it to be so freely loosed, it could have engulfed the whole caravan. You're 18. What he says is true. He's neglecting to mention why it showed to such great strength. You suspect he may have an idea.
Well, from all of the... well, not that I've ever seen it happen before. I've read about it happening. It never describes the flame being quite so... And I gesture with my hands for the size of it. It's always mentioned that it's, like a small little thing instead of such a big flame. Do you have any kind of insight as to why it was so much more powerful this go around?
Morthos looks around, like almost like you've sparked something in his mind, like he's forgotten something important, and you helped him remember. He looks around. You notice from like inside his cloak and leather armor and stuff, the little dragonoid head pokes out and looks around too, before like flapping and taking off. You see this like worried look, followed by reticent acknowledgement, and then Morthos turns his attention back to you and goes, either oh, sorry.
Oh, bless you, Morthos.
Either the champion is close at hand. Or one who will be his champion is close at hand.
Now, Justicar, I know what you're thinking, but probably not me. At the very least, at the moment, I've got no interest in it, so...
That's not where I was originally going with the idea, but thank you for adding the suspicion of you onto the board again.
I should have just kept my mouth shut, shouldn't I have?
Yes, because remember the map we got had the had a symbol of...
What, you think him?
Well, I mean, maybe not, but...
I mean, I see what you're talking about. You know,
the symbol of Nexvar was in the wagon, and it was something to summon. So that's the whole reason why I have everybody doubled up whenever they're moving, is so that, you know, the champion of Nexvar doesn't take anybody unsuspecting wise.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but on the other hand, I would counterpoint that we found it, which means that, you know, it'd be more likely for somebody in the wild who's also working for the Great King, perhaps, because we know there's some connection between him and the Great King. That would be more likely, if you ask me.
Correct. However, with the flame being bigger, and Morthos saying that it could be because the champion is nearby, and the fact that we stumbled upon that caravan, which had a summoning circle in it, filled with blood all over everything. You see where, like, these things might be coalescing in the idea that we may have,
like, a follower or someone stalking us or something.
That's the enemy outside. I'm thinking more the enemy within.
No, logistically, it just doesn't make sense. Anyone who was responsible for the summoning or related to it must have successfully made their way down the road ahead of us several weeks beforehand. So the only people who could be responsible for that were me, and I didn't come from this direction originally. Or, and then to the best of my knowledge, he didn't come from this direction either, and he doesn't really seem like the type. I mean, you came from
I came from this direction, and I was the last one to make it into the town, and the wagon was not there, which means somebody in the day after I was on the road could have done the summoning, made it to town of the night that we stayed, and then hitched a ride with us.
I suppose might be in the caravan. It seems a bit convoluted, though. Why? Why would they do that?
Well, where's the caravan heading to?
Well, yeah, but on the other hand, they could have just head that direction themselves. If they could have made it safely from here to where we were, then they could easily make it from here safely to where we're going, you know? It just didn't...
True, but then they could also ingratiate themselves into our good graces, and then...
a stranger walking on the road by himself is definitely more suspicious entering a city. There's no doubt about that.
Exactly. So then it would make sense that one of our... someone here is not who they say they are.
Possible. Then again, I think we've got a bigger concern. You see, you're not wrong about the infiltration point there, except for one problem. It would be just as unusual for a singular traveler to make their way to where we were as they are to where we're going. But in the vicinity there is a small village. That's where we're heading next. If I had to guess, I'd put good money on the person responsible being there, not in the caravan.
True, minus the fact that the city that Othmere was not the most well-guarded city, with them being distracted.
I mean, you're not wrong, but again, wouldn't you have expected like an uptick in chaotic circumstances or something? I mean, the worst thing that happened while we were there was us, and you know that wasn't intentional, but still, you know, it must be.
There was the echo in the street. There was the sea creature attacking the docks at the same time. There's the
thing of it
creatures
is
that were
that
outside the walls.
the people of the town, the people of Othmire, didn't find it unusual. They were acting like this was something that's been happening for a fair amount, which means it couldn't have been somebody who showed up the same day. All I'm saying is, it's possible that it's somebody in the caravan, but I wouldn't rule out the village we're heading to next. Why don't we get there first and see if there's anything unusual going on around there? And that should give us a heading one way or another.
I agree. We should be concerned on both fronts.
Well, yes, obviously we shouldn't trust anyone. I mean, honestly, most of these people here either seem like they could tear us into pieces with their bare hands, or like they're hiding something, or both. So,
most of these people are lovely people that aren't hiding anything. There's only one person, maybe 3, that are hiding things.
I'd just like to point out a couple of things here. First of all, we're traveling with a gem merchant. If you're kindly
most merchants are upstanding individuals.
Not exactly.
Especially in the presence of a Justicar.
You would not believe the number of merchants who are directly involved with large criminal elements to one degree or another. And gem merchants, cutthroat business. And I'm not being figurative there. And that's before we consider the fact that probably the easiest place in the camp to hide a body, I point to the tannery cart, would be right over there. Then there's that apprentice. He's, there's something off about that guy. He's a little too twitchy, if you know what I mean. I don't trust him, not to mention the fact he was involved with the lamp. That seems to be a problem. And, well, honestly...
He just lacks confidence. He just lacks confidence. I mean... The tannery is... not
Let me offer you a word of
suspicious.
advice. Are you an investigator or a Justicar?
Well, as a Justicar, it makes me an investigator as well.
What's your specialty? Judgment or investigation?
Well, my specialty is bringing justice to those who have broken the law, which means sometimes I have to make sure somebody's actually broken the law before I, you know, bring a new light to people.
I hear what you're saying, but my point is my specialty is investigation, and I can tell you right now, I am not trusting the majority of the people here, and with good reason. Let me put it this way. The town I grew up in, Thornmire, it's well known for its less than legal perspective on certain things. We tend to be a bit looser with laws and rules around there, though not necessarily amoral, just, well, it's a newer town, you understand.
I just kind of raise my eyebrow as you say less than legal.
Most of the people of my town are less suspicious than 90% of the people in this caravan.
See, this is why I made sure to hire a good investigator to make sure that, you know, you're looking around for things that may be suspicious, while I'm more of a people person.
Right. That's what you are.
I just tap my hammer and I go, yes, people love to tell me things.
I'm sure that they do. I'm sure that they do. As it just so happens, I'm feeling better, and I'd rather not get to feeling worse, so I'm going to go investigate.
Oh, take the night and rest, Aldrich. I insist.
Oh, you're too kind. But if you insist.
As I keep tapping the hammer as he...
I just remembered, though, I have something to not be here about, so goodbye.
Less than legal.
That man was about an inch away from moving my kneecaps, I feel like. I like my kneecaps.
both splintering off into their own separate parts of the caravan, doing their
I am
own separate
distinctly
things.
I'm distinctly moving in the direction of strong and more trustworthy people, like the guard of the caravan, or if the caravan master is somewhere, I'm moving in his direction because I've still got that "wow, I almost died" kind of thing going on right now.
Yeah. Torak and Donovan are kind of conversing near Donovan's wagon. It looks like Donovan's about to turn in for the night as you approach. Make a
I'm not
perception.
actually going.
Oh, okay, go
Sure.
ahead. Sorry.
I will make a perception check since I'm in their vicinity, but I'm not actually like going to talk to them. I just get the feeling that being in their vicinity is better for my health than not.
Understood.
I'm going to go talk to the elf girl. I don't have her name. I haven't asked her name.
The scout?
Yes, I haven't
Okay.
asked her name, so I don't know her name.
Understood. You
10
find...
flat.
Say what, Aldrich?
10 flat.
10 flat. They're conversing about something that seems important, but you are more distracted by the little sounds in the brush that catch your attention. Something about almost dying has put you kind of on edge this evening, making it difficult for you to focus and investigate to the full.
Okay.
Just a car.
Yes.
You find the elf gal who is finishing up her bedroll setup for the evening. Seems like everyone's kind of trying to bed down after all the excitement.
I look at her and I gesture for us to talk in private for a brief moment.
I guess I can say my prayers before bed. She gets up and begins to follow you.
Find some place where nobody's really around and paying attention.
All right. As you kind of round one of the caravan wagons, kind of stepping out of the enclosed circle into the dark of night, you see her put a sprig of lavender in the corner of her mouth, lean up against the side of the cart, and she says, "All right, just a car. What do you want?"
You are the, for lack of a better job description, the scout of this caravan.
Aye, and I carry messages from time to time.
Yes. How long have you been working with Donovan?
It's about, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. 3 to 4 years.
Okay, so you know all of the regulars of the caravan then?
Yes, I'm acquainted with them.
Okay. My companion has pointed out that we may have been infiltrated by a rather nasty individual from the Riftland.
Really? You don't say. And she
And I-
kind of looks towards Jin.
Not him. You remember that wagon you found?
Aye?
There was a summoning sigil inside of that wagon.
That's bad.
So, yes.
Okay.
That's why we said to double up on shifts to make sure that nobody got attacked. However, in light of new events, we believe that the individual may have made it into town and joined the caravan before we left.
Oh.
And
Are you saying perhaps one of these tag-alongs?
well, potentially, but it's not to be understated that perhaps one of the regulars may have also been what's the right way of saying it? And I kind of like gesture for like a moving of one spot to another spot, body swapped or commandeered.
Are you saying that one of them has been swapped for a Riftland creature?
It's not against possibility, especially since how so far what we've encountered 2 Riftland beasts so far.
Huh.
There was the Echo inside of the town. There was the Reaver just now. Oh, the yesterday, I should say.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
potentially. So I'm curious because you are the most observant individual in the caravan. Have you noticed anything odd? Pure confidence, by the way. No need to think that I'm gonna, do, you know, the worst of what Justicars are rumored for. It's more of a I want to make sure everyone's safe, and that, we can contain whatever problems might exist.
Of course, of course. Something that I have been thinking about. I have not noticed the pale bard who came with the carved flute from the knucklebone. I have not seen her since yesterday's attack.
I do apologize. I've not that. My compatriots were more well versed in finding out everybody and being more friendly. I don't recall a
She played
bard with.
she played music for all of us the first night out of
Oh,
town.
I do remember that. You're right. I haven't heard much of her since then. She almost just seems like she just disappeared.
Yes. Quite strange.
Other than that, nothing else that you've noticed odd or anyone acting off?
That is the only thing that I can remember or recall. At least this late at night.
Did that bard hang around anyone in particular?
It seemed like she would sometimes be around that masked woman.
Okay, I will have to ask her in the morning about about the ongoing.
Of course.
Thank you for your help.
Sweet dreams, Justicar.
Yes, rest well.
She goes back towards her bedroll.
I immediately go find Aldridge.
Jin,
Aldridge.
My bad, bro. I accidentally passed out.
you are totally fine. Totally fine. Welcome in, welcome in. We just hit a point where Justicar questioned the scout Nysa and is looking for Aldrich. I said you pulled you kind of followed Brother Varnell to the side is what I had said you had done.
Alright. Okay, so. Alright.
Okay. Justicar, you find Aldrich. As you are finding Aldrich, you pass by Jin, who is wrapping up a secret conversation with Brother Varnell that the players will become privy to at a later point in time.
As I'm walking by, I give Jin the the hand signal of fall in, but like the coded hand signal from the Justicar order. Because he did respond the last time I gave hand signals. I'm testing that out as I walk by.
Right.
What's that supposed to mean? What's that supposed to mean, Jessica?
Are you asking me, or are you like falling in immediately, or?
No, yeah, I'm asking you. I'm sorry.
Oh. I was just seeing if you understood the hand signal. You understood my last one. I wasn't sure if you knew all of our hand signals or just some of them.
Oh, that must have just been pure coincidence. I'm not privy to any hand signals.
Okay, Jen.
And then I just joined Jessica.
All right, the two of you go to find Aldrich. Where do they find you?
Same place as before, as close to population centers and a fire as I can be at the same time without getting too close to anybody I don't trust, i.e. pretty much everybody here.
Understood. You see two people approaching you, Justicar and Jin.
Oh, great.
With gusto and determination.
Even better.
I walk up immediately, kneel down so I can conversate with Aldridge in quiet, hushed tones.
I'm sitting on the ground with my arms around my knees, so when he kneels down, I'm like maybe at the middle of his back. Sorry, middle of his chest plate when he kneels down.
Right. So, very small.
Good evening, Justicar. What can I help you with?
It's a good thing I got both of you here. So, do you remember the bard from the first night?
Yes, knuckle-blown flute.
Have you seen her since?
Could I roll a check on that?
Yeah, make a history check.
Where is it? There she is. 19.
19. She had been here and there all up until yesterday's attack. But you're not sure whether or not she's just hiding somewhere in one of the wagons or if something else happened. But you've been distracted with a curse mark on your back until now.
And everything else. Well, I've been a bit busy the last day, you understand. So my not information in that recently. She was around before the attack, here or there. Not too sociable for a bard, honestly, or at least not that I noticed. Not since then, but again, I have been a little distracted.
I just kind of nod. I go, well, the scout girl, she had claimed that she's not really seen her around. Now, the attack did happen. Not saying anything, you know. She could have gotten rattled, obviously, but like, also.
Which cart did the bard tend to stay in?
So she tended to hang around one of the merchant carts, typically around where the Gilda Gem Eye is.
Well, let's go ask the person who'd be most likely to know then.
But I just
gonna
kind of
go-
gesture with a no. We're doing it on the quiet.
Oh, that's not a problem. Blast. Anybody got a musical instrument?
Unfortunately, no. However, I did hear from the scout girl that she frequently talked with the masked girl.
Interesting. Let's see, I've got a horn. I suppose that'll work. I take out the horn and go looking for Gilda Gem Eye.
All right. You begin to head on over to Gilda Gem Eye. Justicar, what were you doing again? I'm sorry.
After having the conversation with Aldridge, I would be apprising Jin of our current situation of, potentially the champion being in the camp or potentially ahead of us.
Yes.
Because the ritual had a bit of a pop and flare that none of the other rituals that I've read about have ever had that kind of pop and flare. And Morthos says that means the champion's near.
Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Aldrich, you find Gilda Gem Eye.
Gilda, just the person I was looking for. You haven't seen your bard friend around, have you? I found this horn, and I didn't know who it belonged to, and it just seemed like she'd be the only one I could think of who might own a horn.
2.5 silver.
For information on where your
No,
person
the
is. so
value
I
of
can-
the horn. I don't have time to pay for information.
Oh, all right. Well, that's fair enough.
She
what-
is like adjusting her monocle as she like looks at this weird pulsating crystal on her table.
I'm looking for your bard friend to return this horn to her. Maybe. You know where she is?
I have not seen her in some time now. About a day.
Hmm.
Useless
You
girl.
probably-
She was supposed to bring me valuable minerals for the resonance crystal.
Is that what that is then?
Yes, you see, it is almost perfect.
Arcana. 100%.
All right, make an Arcana check.
Oh, blasting. There we go. Actually, I tilted with my dice tray and ruined the wool. 18.
18. It pulsates with magic for sure. It doesn't seem to have any specific enchantment yet. Almost like it's a well of potential.
What you doing there?
I'm just working on a perfect resonance crystal. That's all. But I will not bore you with the details.
Oh, come now. You're a master of your craft. I'd be delighted to hear about it.
You see, I take the imperfect gems and minerals and find their purities, refine them, and add them to the resonance crystal. She takes kind of like a dropper with a strange liquid and does 2 drops on one of the sides of the crystal, and you see the liquid hit. That side of crystal kind of grows slightly.
Fascinating. And what would you use a resonance crystal for?
Pieces can be broken off to do all sorts of things. You know, the arcane lanterns that fool Jarek pretends to maintain.
That's what I was figuring. So they use the magnificent nature of the resonance crystal to propagate a protective circle over the entire caravan. Truly ingenious work.
And if I can grow one of a valuable size, perhaps it would be strong enough to protect one of the smaller villages. Hence why I want to stop by Braden's Rest.
More gems, of course. Yes. Well, very interesting. I'm going to have to think on if I can help you with that at all, because that sounds like a project worth pursuing. But unfortunately, I really do have to return this horn, so I'll follow up with you about this a bit later, all right?
Away with you. As soon as you're like, I'm done talking about your crystal, she's like, no, you get no more time.
Fair enough. I'm going to go find Justicar again.
All right. By the time Justicar has finished appraising Jin of what all had transpired while he talked with Brother Varnell, Aldrich returns.
All right.
News.
So I've got a bit of news here and there. First, worth noting down, Gilla, Gemini, she's using the gems she's collecting in order to build what's known as a resonance crystal. So it makes the arcane lanterns capable of spreading the magic circle across the entire caravan, and she hopes to build big enough ones to protect villages. That's something worth paying attention to. But on the other note, she hasn't seen her bard friend since the attack, so we might have a casualty or perhaps even a traitor. We might need to do a little bit more investigating. Which wagon did the monster come out of again?
I point to the wagon that's tore up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's take a look, shall we? Justicar, I trust your arcane sense better than mine. You should probably go ahead of me.
Oh, I definitely will. And by the way, you two, both of you, the unscrupulous merchant that we need to be terrified of, find out if that is something that you can do with the crystal of protect a village. Because if so, I agree with you. That is a pursuit very worth attaching our horses to, so to speak.
I mean, if it's possible to do that, you could literally just create one crystal per suburb for a bigger city and increase the coverage by quite a bit, as long as there's no interference between resonance crystals anyway. I mean, the entire, not to mention the fact, farming districts outside of a city, fantastic way to make sure that we could protect grain stores, or grain producers anyway.
There's that. There's also the potential that it could repel the rift, which means we could reclaim some of the lost territory. No offense, Jen.
One of the problems that we'd have with that is, I suspect that the strength of the repelling effect is going to be tied to the value of the crystal, which means that it's probably going to be very cost prohibitive. But maybe something in the direction of mobile wards to defend armies on the move, or, well, obviously caravans, but I don't think that needs to be set at this point.
Right. And then I poke the torch into the campfire in order to light up a torch.
All right. You have a lit
Hey.
torch.
I not so nice, well, not so gently go do a head count of everyone.
You go do a head count, like shaking people awake, making sure they're there. And
Yep.
Okay.
And leaving no stone or bag unturned. I investigate thoroughly to make sure there's no hiding people or potentially people who got buried under a sack of grain or something, and we didn't know that they had passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much the interrogation style of like root through everything.
Make an investigation check, Justicar.
And mostly following behind him and apologizing to everybody. Well, not apologizing, but being like, so sorry. We've discovered somebody's missing. We really must find them, and trying to just soothe the temper. That this is gonna...
Jin, what
Would
are
I
you
get-
doing? Are you following them, or?
Yeah, I'm helping Justicar look around.
Gotcha. You were about to ask a question, Justicar.
I was gonna say, would I roll with advantage if I'm being helped, or
Yeah, if you got the retinue following you, kind of like helping soothe and smooth things over, break the ice with some people, yeah, I'll definitely say you get advantage.
Okay. In that case, I've got just a regular 20,
Ooh.
a dirty 20. as
A
it said.
sad. It's very sad. Sad 20. It's not natural. It's sad.
The artificial 20.
It's sad.
Non-organic 20?
Artificial die number 20. No. After a very thorough investigation, there's a couple of things that catches your guys' attention. The first thing is you manage to catch a glimpse of the masked woman's face before she like puts her mask on, as you guys kind of like barge in to her sleeping quarters to like get a head count. You see what looks like burn marks. Justicar.
Apologies.
Knock next time, why don't you?
We have a missing person. It's. I point to Aldrich. He will explain as I start rummaging through things.
Well, I'll be completely frank with you, miss. It's a pretty severe circumstance, but I think he just might be, he's an eager sort. Apologies for failing to knock.
I've paid for my privacy. This is a violation of the contract. I will speak with Donovan.
I would like to point something out to you.
I just hold up my holy book as I'm rummaging through.
That's not helping, Justicar. I would like to point out to you, miss, that you did pay for your privacy with Donovan. And if, therefore, there's an issue, might I recommend consulting Donovan. You didn't pay us for your privacy.
she just like slowly exhales.
No offense meant. And honestly speaking, I'm not seeking to rifle through your details. But on the other hand, I am an investigator, and that is a Justicar, and we are traveling together. So, well, your secrets are yours, but on the other hand, yeah, just, you know.
Well-being of your associate that we are inquiring about over here.
I mean, there's also that, but something tells me she's not overly concerned about that. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and guess that you're not particularly too concerned. Is that right, miss?
I do not care about any of these people. I just want to get to where I'm going.
Completely understand. And rest assured that as long as you're not responsible for multiple numerous heinous crimes or actively working against us to try and kill us, I don't honestly think that we care too much. I've never met you, and honestly speaking, I don't think I ever will again, unless you know something I don't.
Is there anything incriminating or anything worrying about her room?
No. Literally the only thing that of note was when you first walked in, catching a glimpse of burnt, scarred flesh before the mask like quickly went on.
Yeah, so as Aldridge says, yeah, we'll never see again. She's a good, well-upstanding citizen who's lawful. Not a single thing out of place in this room. And I reach
How'd you
over
get
and
those scars?
reach over and touch her. And as I touch her, I try to use my lay on hands to heal her.
And when Jin says, "How'd you get those scars?" I dope slap him.
Smack.
What was that for?
Nothing. Nat.
I'm sorry.
She looks to you, Justicar, and says, "Now that you've thoroughly invaded my privacy, you can leave."
Does she get healed from the lay on hands at all?
No.
Okay. I just... Well, with the creature attack, you understand how a body might have wound up in an odd place.
There is
And I
no
leave.
body here.
I attest, there is no body in this room, aside from your body, but irrelevant.
We should probably... The door is that way, so...
Next. Next.
As we leave, I go out last and I turn to her and I gesture over my shoulder with a thumb. I'm like, "Sorry."
There
Turn and
is
close the door.
there is something that after a thorough head count and everything you discover. You kind of like circle back to the destroyed wagon. You see the broken pieces of a knucklebone flute kind of underneath some of the wooden rubble in the wagon that you hadn't noticed before.
So, broken in what way?
Broken pieces.
Like slashed through, crushed, snapped in half.
Like crushed.
Well, that does not bode well.
I jump in immediately and start hefting the broken pieces of the wagon and like trying to clear any debris to see if potentially she got smashed under something, if she's still alive in here somewhere and just rendered unconscious.
You begin moving rubble.
Like with desperation of like throwing the heavy pieces out.
Right. Jin kind of sidesteps out of the way of one of the pieces that gets tossed in his direction. This madman of a priest, Jin, is like throwing wood pieces everywhere now. Aldrich, you also see Justicar kind of going crazy.
I hope she's in there. I saw the knucklebone flute pieces as well, right?
Yeah, after Justicar, like, pointed them out, yeah.
Jin, we might want to, take a step back.
After several minutes of desperate, rubble moving, the party looks at a roughly empty wagon bed, except for tattered clothes and a broken flute.
That's what I was afraid we were gonna find.
Buddy?
I think I'm gonna point to where the Reaver died.
Yeah.
Died. I think that was the body.
Pointing
Point
to
yourself.
the head that Jen put on a pike and gave to
Mhm.
the hobgoblin.
Now,
Explain
how
yourself.
are you sure? How are you sure?
Well, I'm not. It's just a suspicion I had when I heard that she was missing. See, when somebody dies, they leave behind a body. And a lot of blood. Like a lot of blood when somebody gets killed. When they run away, they'll take their stuff with them. But we found her stuff, and I wasn't smelling any blood from the wagon. And that meant, in my opinion, that one of three things happened. She somehow ran away before the attack. Not impossible, but not likely. We've missed her somewhere else. Still a possibility. We don't know about it. Or the Riftlands has a trick we've never seen before. And given that her clothes are torn, they look like they've been torn out of, right?
Make a separate investigation check, Aldrich, for that one.
To do a history check to see if there's ever been reports of like rift creatures like coming out, like essentially coming out of a person, or what Aldridge is describing essentially.
Make a history check.
19.
19 from Aldrich.
I got a 16.
And 16. Aldrich, yes, it does look like the tears came from internal to external.
On top of that, those clothes have been torn out of, not into.
So you're saying that
Jin, you don't need to worry about that. Fact of the matter is, if I'm correct, she was gone anyway. There was nothing left but a rift beast. I mean, think about it. Did she act anything like a human?
I didn't really interact much with the boy.
No. I don't mean before. I mean after.
Well, she died like one.
Yes, but that hardly counts. Just about everything dies like a human. Except for ghosts, of course, but, you know, that's an entirely different matter altogether right there.
She was fixated on Owen. Did they have any interactions?
You know, thinking about it, didn't Owen hurt himself on that wagon?
Yes.
That was a few days ago. I remember he tripped. I remember that.
He slipped and fell by it. Yeah, that's for sure.
Did we see him stick his finger in the lantern? Or was he stealthy enough that none of us noticed that?
Yeah, none of you guys had seen that.
Alright. Beyond that, I don't think so, but... Well,
Dean, do I know anything from like the histories of the church,
So-
whether or not something like that would happen?
There have been no like detailed reports of rift beasts ripping their way out of people. There's been reports of people going missing and then like chimeric echoes of them being found. Majority of people take that as like the physical form, but it, you know, as per your discussion with Morthos a couple days prior, that's not necessarily the case.
Can I try to ask my past lives if they've seen somebody turn to a Reaver before?
All right, make a history check there, Jen.
I got 11.
All right. You kind of retreat into yourself for a moment and ask the kind of swirling mass of memories and past actions what one of those like Reaver's processes is. You see a like disjointed vision of this like skeleton figure collapsing in like blue grass underneath a purple sky. The vision cuts forward a little bit. You see this kind of gray hand reach down towards this creature. A like drop of some sort of crystalline liquid flows from the hand, and this creature roars with new power in the vision. It's disjointed, however. A lot of it is like you're not getting full details of this vision.
And it's just a gray hand.
Yeah. That's as much as you can make out. You
would like
come
to
to, and he did not explode.
Okay.
I would like to check the wagon for any residual magic or anything like that that might explain why she turned into it, especially the bone flute. See if there's anything there that might explain what
Okay.
happened magically.
Make a Arcana.
6.
There is like this residual energy, but you're not quite sure whether it's the ritual, the resonance crystal, like something could be throwing your magical senses off. You're not quite sure how trustworthy your senses are at this time.
Jin, is there... I get the faint feeling that there might be something magical going on. You getting any sort of feeling from the wagon?
Can I Arcana check as well?
Of course, of course.
Well, we got 6.
Perfect. It's the exact same roll I got.
Yeah, so very much the same. Like, as soon as you, like, begin to magic sense through the wagon, something kind of, like, snaps, like a switch is flipped. And it's almost like the code of understanding what happened here escapes both of you.
In that both of them have kind of like done their magic thing, their magic sniffing thing, and they're both kind of like, I just kind of go, all right, so this is what happened. Owen was fiddling with one of those colorful rocks, magic rock things, which you came out of, Jin. And you, Aldridge, said that she was responsible for collecting rare minerals and things to give to the merchant we're not supposed to trust. It could be possible that she tried to steal one of these gems that were magical, ingested it, the portal opened up inside of her, and the thing came out.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but counterpoint, where's the viscera?
Well, if it opened up inside of her and she was kind of sucked into it, but like spat out on the other side, all of the viscera would be in the rift.
Portal that happened at the same time?
I mean, it could have happened. I don't know. I'm just. It's a theory.
I mean, it's
if she's handling the things, the magical stones, like what Owen did, a simple accident, a simple just hiccup of the rift, and next thing you know, just snap my fingers, it's gone.
I will say, when I was consorting with myself, it was kind of a broken up vision, but it was of one of these creatures, and it was a gray hand, and it was almost like it gave this creature new power with like a liquid crystal type substance. So I don't know if that has any correlation, but it obviously affected this creature in a way that gave it more power. It was collapsing, and then it kind of got new life in it.
Points to Jen. I was like, see that right there? That gives credence to it. Some liquid-powered stone thing. She might have gotten her hands on it. We've encountered a lot of weird rift things and like rift portals and stuff like that. She might have, stumbled upon something that we didn't see and then, pocketed it. Next thing you know, bada bing, bada boom, she's gone.
Well, I'm not saying that you're necessarily wrong, but I'm definitely going to say let's see if we can find any evidence one way or the other first. That sounds a little uncertain.
That's first thing in the morning. As we've investigated and bothered a lot of people tonight.
Yeah.
One more thing. But can I investigate the flute?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
That's a natty 20.
Natural 20. As you go to pick up one of the shards of this flute, you like grab a hold of it and lift it up. As you're lifting it up, there's this like eerie green energy that shoots out of your hand and like dissipates up into the night sky.
Oh, I don't want to be alarmist, but that might be something to be concerned about.
And our position is given away. Can I Arcana check that?
I'll say with the natural 20, you're like
Wait, okay, that's okay. Cool.
really aware of what's going on with this thing. That was the residual amount of spirit energy that was within the remnants of this flute. It has become very apparent what this lady said the first night before she played her flute about it being able to soothe spirits was pretty true. And now that it's broken, those spirits are free.
So, I have some news.
That was a glorious light show that you pulled off to commemorate the death of the flute?
With the energy of spirits, yes.
Oh, good. I was worried it was something bad.
How was that? What? No, I got a bad feeling about these spirits.
No, what I said was that was a fancy display you set off to commemorate the death of the flute.
Oh, that was not from me. That came from the flute itself.
See, that's what I thought you were going to say, but I was trying to be optimistic and pretend that wasn't going to be a problem. Something tells me that's going to be a problem.
It seems like this whole journey has been a problem. Oh.
I would like to say that you're wrong, but you're not wrong.
Just
I'm gonna go get some sleep before something bad happens.
So, Jed, what's going on with this flute? You just lobbed a green light into this sky.
I didn't do anything. It came from the shattered pieces of this flute, but I think this flute was a vessel of containing spirits, and the feeling that I got from it was ominous. I don't think these are kind spirits that was being contained in this vessel. That's what I think.
New idea.
So
What happened was the creature attacks, breaks the wagon on the side, comes down, she drops the flute, the piece of wagon smashes the flute, releases the spirits. While we're busy fighting the Reaver, the spirits take her and disappear her. Thus,
and tear her clothes from the outside at the same time for fashion reasons because they didn't like what she wore.
Let's say she disappeared because she disappeared against her will. She was disappeared against her will.
I think it would be more likely that somebody or something related to that flute caused her to turn into the Reaver. But, again, I think we're making conclusions way too early. And while we're at it, and I would like to remind you of this, we still need to worry about that map. Maybe she was the summoned person? No, that doesn't make sense. Why would she turn around here? And go after Owen? Was he the target? That doesn't make sense. The map specifically shows Jin's home. That just doesn't match up. Are there two monsters in the camp?
We'll sleep on it. We'll come back to it in the morning.
I'll be frank with you. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight, but I'm going to give it my best shot.
I grab the hammer. I can help you sleep tonight.
No, I'll use an ancient halfling technique.
All right. I mean, it's a well documented effective treatment from the Justicars to help people sleep.
Yes, very much so. But my doctor, before I left Thornmire, advised me to avoid getting hit by hammers. Turns out I have an allergy to it, so.
I think it's not a hammer.
That thing that you're holding right now?
A ball.
Oh. Yes, no, I'm supposed to avoid those even worse. See, the bigger the hammer-shaped item, the more severe my allergy flares up. So
I understand. Jin, do you need help sleeping?
dwarf cities for the same reason. Giant stone hammers probably not good for me by mere proximity.
I don't need. That's pointy. I think I'm okay. I'll meditate on it. Yeah.
I just figured I would offer my help.
You know, it's possible
Your
that
help seems a lot like a salt, but
might Nisa might or Torak might need help sleeping. You should go see if they need help.
Nisa.
Or self-administer your cure for sleep. That might.
Wait, who's Nisa?
Might help.
Jesus, the scout. The scout's name Nisa. You didn't even ask her name.
That's your job, is to find out the names. My job's to be the Justicar, the scary guy that wields a sword and hammer, and people don't like to go around.
You know what? I think I saw something suspicious on the road. About 2 days back. You might want to go take a look at it, Justicar. It's probably important. I'm gonna go get some sleep.
You all lie down for rest and wake in the morning. All right. Who would like to roll a d6 for this day?
I would like to, and I would like to argue that I should get to because I have a metal d6, which makes it so much better.
Okay, go ahead.
The argument stands. Roll your d6.
You have a cool dice that wins.
Wins.
I mean, that's pretty much like a third of D&D, right? Excuse to show off your cool dice and use them.
Right.
Yes.
That would be a 5, good sir.
A 5. Oh, happy day.
At least it wasn't a 3.
I know. I'm very happy. I'm like actually happy.
He wanted that, but I don't know if that's for the best.
All
for the
right.
good. Oh.
All right. Aldrich.
Mm-hmm.
In the morning, you are helping tear down the campsite and get the wagon ready, like the caravan ready in the morning. Everyone's kind of like helping, pitching in and helping out. But you specifically today take the time to go help with the campfire and put it out. At least any like smoldering ashes that may be in the base of it, you know, any embers.
Sure.
As you kind of like pour out this little pot of briny water onto the embers, something kind of like floats out of the ashes in the muck, and it kind of glints in the new day sun.
I'll use Mage Hand to pick it up.
As your mage hand brings it out of the kind of ashy, watery mix that you've made, your mage hand gives it a shake or two. It is a single black coin.
Like any denomination that's recognized, I assume it's
It
not
does
a normal
not
coin.
have any impresses that are familiar to you. Its surface is smooth to the touch of your mage hand. Of course, you haven't touched it yet.
Yeah. I'm going to take out my tinder box and open it under the mage hand and have the mage hand dump the coin into the tinder box, which doesn't have tinder because I don't start fires, nor am I responsible for that. So it's pretty much just the box with the flint and the steel, no tinder. And I'm going to take that to Justicar and open the box and show him the coin and be like, so you wouldn't happen to recognize this little beauty, now would you?
Reach in and pull it out, and
As he reaches, I snap the lid of the box closed.
Smith.
Word of advice, don't touch unknown items, especially when they might be magical. That's a good way to lose your everything. So, and I reopen the box. Without touching this, do you recognize it?
so I can see the other side of the coin, and I do either a religion or history check on it.
Make a history check.
All right, history is going to be a 17.
17. There is only one other time that you remember seeing a black coin like this. It was found similarly in a fire, but in the hearth of one of the traveling way stops. In your early traveling days before you had a full retinue of people following you, you remember someone kind of seeing something in the fireplace, taking it out and being like, "Oi, it's a black coin," being pretty happy about it, but then someone else being like, "You must return it, or it will return to you." And then, yours snap back to here.
You recall some superstitious nut talking about you have to do something with it or it comes back to you?
I haven't mentioned it to anybody but you, and I've done my absolute best to make sure that nobody knows I have it. But if that's the case, I'm probably going to take it back to the fire, and I'm going to drop it back in the fire, and then I think I'm going to leave it in the fire.
Hold on. Ask Morthos. He's the resident know everything about everything
That's
because
a good idea.
yeah, he's literally the follower of the goddess of knowledge. That's the person to ask. Beyond me, obviously. I do thank you for bringing it to me first.
But if he doesn't know about what it is, we can encourage him to pray harder until he does. Sounds like a solid plan.
I always encourage people to pray hard.
I really want to kick your kneecap right now, but instead I'm going to go talk to Morthos.
Good idea, because that would be assaulting a Justicar, which is a very egregious offense.
Yes, but counterpoint, Justicar deserves it this time, so I'll be back.
You go find Morthos, who is standing near the edge of the camping circle, looking kind of worried.
Begging your pardon, Morthos, you got a minute? I don't want to disturb you when you're so clearly disturbed, but I have something important to ask.
I'm just... Thuril hasn't come back yet, and I'm worried.
I'll see if I can help you find him in a minute, but before I do, open the box and show him the coin. This looks familiar.
Where did you get that?
Campfire.
You were the only person who saw it?
No, showed it to Justicar.
When it was found, I mean.
Best of my knowledge. Didn't see anyone else noticing, but I was a little distracted, you understand?
It would have been best if you had left it there in the camp fire.
Do I need to put it back?
It's too late. If you try, it'll find you again.
All right.
Uh,
I'm not very happy to hear that.
It seems that you are carrying one of the Umbra coins.
Would I roll a history check on that?
Yeah, make a history check.
I mean, I doubt I'm going to know anything, but on the other hand, 15.
You are not sure if it's like whispered rumors on the wind or like the memory of a fairy tale of these coins that when given out they signified a deep tie to the fate of both realms, the Riftlands and the material realm. It, like, in whispers of fairy tales, they are burdens that, when placed in the right places, may be let go. But until done so, it always returns to the one who found it.
So, is there any disaster associated with it returning or anything like that?
It is an ill omen, replies Mortha.
The coin returning or the coin itself?
Each return, it is said there is a new mark on the coin. Yours is smooth.
Okay. I was just going to dump it right here and see what happened. In that case, I think I'm going to hold on to it for reasons.
That is wise. And then he kind of like looks up, and you are actually kind of in the cone, so you get hit with this too. There is this like small, like lizard-like thought voice that like gets projected, and it is, "I'm on my way back."
Seems like your friend's on his way right now.
You could hear him?
No? Maybe?
You and Morthos are hit with this like sky view vision of the campsite, just like a brief picture, almost like a memory implanted.
I'm gonna go with no.
That's how Thuriel communicates, is through thought. So
I'm going to establish a telepathic link with him. Don't let it get around, please. I'm a bit shy about my abilities most of the time.
he just kind of like slowly nods.
Appreciate it. Well, out loud, I've got some work to do, so I'll get to it, and you let me know if you need anything. All right?
Okay. He then looks up as Thuriel comes in for a landing. Morthos just kind of holds his arms out to catch and as he lands in, and he kind of spins with the force of the dive bomb hug that you see Morthos and Thuriel kind of embrace each other and in this friendly bond they have. You do get this even though there is this kind of overflowing sense of joy and fun and the thrill of flying again and scouting and going out and about, there is this small hint of an emotion of trepidation in Thuriel that you notice. Aldridge.
Hey there, little guy. Everything all right?
He sends you a mental picture of thatched roof cottages at a crossroads and an image of people throwing rocks and pots and other various refuse towards that mental image.
I'm going to try and use it. So my mental communication is specifically telepathic speech.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try and send an image as well. And this image is Justicar standing there with his maul out in front of Thuriel and Morthos. And he turns to look at Thuriel and Morthos and turns back, and a tomato hits him in the face, and it slides down, and his face goes from "I'm being polite" to "Okay, who threw that?"
Okay. Nice. There is this well, make an animal handling check. I'll say that.
Animal handling.
Yeah.
14.
14. You get the sense that this has calmed Thuriel down a bit and made his morning a bit more pleasant.
I smile and sort of tap him on the nose and wave to Morthos. See you later.
And he smiles towards you and waves as you walk away.
Is there a cobbler in the camp?
No, there is not. However, about halfway through the day's journey, you guys come to a small hamlet amidst the crossroads of the pathways. A scene of rolling wheat fields to your eastern flank as the road you are on turns southward. So it would be towards your guys' left. There seems to be several individuals out in the wheat fields doing various work. one of the individuals that you notice is a small child who sees the caravan, runs up towards everyone, and she has like a single ear of wheat. It's like pristine, perfect. And she runs right up to the wagon that Justicar is in and looks right at Justicar.
Heard, hello, little girl. That is a lovely piece of wheat.
She holds it out to you.
I take it, I examine it.
Every person who is working in the field stops working and looks at you.
As I'm examining it, does it seem good?
It is the most perfect ear of wheat that you have ever seen, Justicar.
Seems to do quite well with the quality of the grain that you produce. I hop off the wagon and little girl, where's your father or your mother?
She looks up at you as you like get out of the wagon, and she's like about waist high. She looks up at you. She looks out towards the field of wheat, and then she looks back up at you. And then she starts walking towards the field.
Follow her?
As you go to hop the like stone fence that separates the road from the field of wheat, as she does, she like hops over real quick and goes into the wheat. You hop over the fence, go into the wheat. Jen, Aldrich, you both watch as Justicar follows this small girl from the wagon, hops this stone fence into the wheat. Jen, Aldrich, both individuals are completely gone. You have no idea where they went. Justicar, you see her ahead of you.
I see her ahead of me.
Yep. You turn around, and where the road was, you can't see. There's just fog above the stone wall.
Divine sense. The moment I turn around and see that it's fog, divine sense.
There is no fae, there is no fiend, but you do sense undead.
Nod to self. Grab sword. Turn around.
The girl just kind of like looks at you, cocks her head to the side, blinks at you a couple of times.
Can release you from your torment, little girl.
kind of cocks her head to the other side. And then
By
she...
the way, did the grain stay perfect, or is the grain no longer grain?
Oh, no, the grain is pristine and perfect. She turns and points, and you see where all the villagers were, like, working in the fields. You see this kind of... It's almost like where the villagers were, there's swarms of insects in the shape of people.
That I don't like that one bit. I let go of the sword, put it back in its scabbard, and grab the hammer instead. And yell back. Guys?
There is no sound that emanates from the wheat field, and there is no sound that returns to you.
I do a prayer and look at the. Is there anything else other than the shapes of people where the bugs are? Like anything else to draw my attention?
The girl just kind of like looks at you as like she sees you getting like more and more like wary, agitated, like you're looking around for anything to like get a sense and gauge. She then just kind of like straightens her head, looking directly at you, puts her finger to her lips like shh, and then just kind of sinks back into the wheat and disappears.
Batman swinging on.
You're swinging?
Oh no! If anything emerges out of the wheat, I am swinging like a held action, ready to swing.
Got you. There is a brief moment where nothing happens, and then
Show up, please, guys! Show up.
there is this like caw, caw, as a bird like comes out of where the girl disappeared in the wheat. You
Swing.
you swing. Roll,
Swing at the nothing.
roll d20.
That is a 16.
A 16. You connect with something. And you feel like resistance, and then a puff of feathers, and something splatters against the side of your armor and stuff. It's almost like bits of bird viscera and stuff like splatter all over you, and you like stumble backwards, take a couple of steps back, and a bit further up the path, there is this break in the stone fence, and you come stumbling out of there. And, Jen Aldrich, about 20 paces up from where you saw Justicar disappear, he reappears covered in blood and bones and feathers. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Dun, dun, dun.
Welcome to Brayden's Rest, everybody.
Even.
Dude, when you said that it was pristine, the most perfect head of weed, I was like, bruh, that might be too perfect.
And I was
Like-
so happy that the answer was undead because I thought he just accepted Fey food from a Fey, and I'm like, oh, bye, Justicar.
Trying to be nice to the villagers, say, wow, what a great harvest. No thank you. Creepiness, understood.
Corn?
I've seen
That was the second thing I
pristine
thought.
wheat. It's not the first time Justicar has seen pristine wheat.
Correct.
This is not the first time.
Well cultivated soil that produces good wheat. The farmers doing labor of love from the farmers is what that is.
Yeah, I'm just
You're
getting
just
the
leaving
feeling
their
that
child
Aldrich-
unattended, letting them go up to a random caravan. I don't know.
I just get the feeling that Aldrich is about to become a pyromaniac because if the wheat fields have trouble in it, I am probably lighting something on fire. And I know how
Yeah.
wheat goes when it gets sparks catching on it. So
Firebolt. Firebolt.
I visited. No, I don't have firebolt, but I do have a torch in
I
the
do.
box. So
I'll burn
yeah.
that whole thing to the ground.
I'm just
do
remembering
that.
the last town Aldrich was in. Something ended up on fire. This town.
not allowed to
is
use
looking
fire.
like something's-
Oh yeah. You blew something. I don't think you should. Yeah.
Like, nobody's allowed to use fire anymore except for Justicar.
Honestly, I get the
well,
feeling. I get the feeling if there's one person who shouldn't be allowed to use fire, it probably is the Justicar. I'm just getting that sense, that vibe, you know? He hasn't done anything yet, but I'm keeping an eye on this guy.
Oh my goodness. Well, I had
You
a
got
lot of
enticed by
fun
him.
with tonight's session, ladies and gentlemen. But you know, I gotta ask my 3 questions. I ask them every week. In the chat, in the comments, I better see some. What was good? What was bad? What needs improvement, ladies and gentlemen? Every little bit of constructive criticism helps make the show better. All right, starting with Aldrich tonight. What was good? What was bad? And what needs improvement?
I think we need to improve a little bit on our inter-character communication. We had a good conversation there, but it kind of felt like it wasn't as guided as I'd like it to be, but I think that that's just a matter of experiencing it and practice. Honestly, quite a bit of this session was quite interesting. We did a huge amount of investigation, picked up some answers, more questions than answers. All that was very good. As for bad, I'm not really looking forward to next week. But beyond that, I don't really have anything to comment on. It's just fire. Lots of fires in our future. I'm just making a prediction right now.
Wonderful. Hey, Jen, same 3 questions.
I need to get better sleep before we do things. I'm so sorry. I was sitting there waiting. I was watching a YouTube video, and then I wake up at 7 o'clock. I'm like, oh, poo.
It's all good.
I apologize.
Saul
but,
Goodman, bro. Saul Goodman.
It's all good. But, yeah, I should. Yeah, I think, kind of what Aldrich is saying, but more so on my part, just let people, see if they're done with their thought. Because I was kind of talking over some people, but that one when I asked about the scar though, I did that on purpose because he was just like, hey, but other than that, I mean, I did it multiple times though. So I think that's my bad. I need to let people finish their thought, but there's a lot of pauses sometimes, so I'm like, no. So, but that. So I'm sorry about that as well. I really like the part that I was here for. So Yeah, for the part, yeah, it was interesting. It's getting to the meat and taters. I think it's cute.
Oh my gosh, I was so happy that you guys rolled not a 3 or a 4. Oh, I was especially excited because it was a 2 or a 5. 1 or 6 is combat in my randomizer generator system that I've created for this, and 2 and 5 is story like stuff happens. So I've been really looking forward to when story would happen, and finally some story happened tonight.
Instead of wondering like, is this just a wild goose chase? But now we got children in the corn showing up.
Bum bum bum.
Yes.
Children of the Week.
Children of the
Children of the
Wheat.
week. Yeah, children of the week.
That's right. Justicar, same 3 questions.
I mean, you did a wonderful job. You definitely played into the increasing paranoia of the group. I would like to let the group know that Justicar is only 20 years old, so he is not the most well-experienced individual. So, he is very prone to jumping to conclusions, and yeah, that's why Justicar is just... He does what Justicar does.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I thought the conversations flowed pretty smoothly, mostly through all of the interactions we had. So I think it was overall like not much needed improving. The pacing went quick. We kind of bogged it down with constant investigations, but
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. Getting through like the evening of one night, taking over half the session was kind of like, okay, like I understand as a DM that I should like take the reins and be like, at some point, but like, why am I gonna interrupt all this juicy goodness? Like,
yeah, and it builds in great because it's a lot of intercharacter interactions and like exploring your world more thoroughly and fully and making sure that no stone is left unturned.
yeah,
Coming to absolutely incorrect conclusions the whole time.
I love
That
it.
is exactly the whole point of it, is to come up with the incorrect conclusions and to move forward on those incorrect conclusions.
Shonen Ninja in the chat going caw, a bird and a girl. Perhaps he's seen some inspiration from some stories and things.
Coming out covered in bird and blood.
That's right.
Crows are a bad omen.
That's right. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for our stream tonight. Our episode 9 is done. Next week, episode 10. Can you believe it? Episode 10 already of the Six Sword Saga source code, a prequel series. We'll see how long this goes on and how much people enjoy all of the goodness from the Six Sword Saga. The most important thing to remember, ladies and gentlemen, these characters, well, they
have become permanently entrapped within the simulation.
Saga.